Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, June 19th, 2013. In international news, the U.S. to open peace talks with Taliban. The FBI is investigating the death of a Puerto Rico bank executive. The G8 says serious statement omits anti-Assad calls. In sports, Veronica Campbell-Brown responds to drug charges. Bravo refuses to blame umpires on Pollard for Windy's expulsion. Johan Blake withdraws from national senior trials. And in entertainment, the WICB president meets with Prime Ministers Gonzalez and Mitchell. Vybz Kartel says he meant Georgina no disrespect. I'm more famous than her. Ziggy Marley wins an Emmy. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with zero out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with zero out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. In international news, the U.S. is to open direct peace talks with the Taliban, senior White House officials has announced. The first meeting is due to take place in the coming days in Doha, Qatar, where the Taliban have just opened their first official overseas office. Afghan President Hamid Karzai said his government is also sending a delegation to Qatar to talk to the Taliban. The announcement came on the day NATO handed over security for the whole of Afghanistan to the government forces. U.S. officials said prisoner exchanges would be one topic for discussion with the Taliban, but the first weeks will mainly be used to explore each other's agendas. However, the talks are on condition that the Taliban renounce violence, break ties with al-Qaeda, and respect the Afghan constitution, including the rights of women and minorities. U.S. officials said this was the first step on a very long road, adding there was no guarantee of success. On Tuesday, the Taliban issued a statement saying that one of the main aims of their Doha office was to meet Afghans. The statement said they would also make contact with UN, regional and international organizations, as well as non-governmental institutions. After opening the political bureau in Doha alongside Qatari officials, Taliban representative Mohammed Naeem told reporters the group wanted good relations with Afghanistan's neighboring countries. The FBI is investigating allegations that high-ranking bank officials in Puerto Rico conspired to have a former Doral Bank executive killed after he claimed the uncovered fraud, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Puerto Rico said on Tuesday. Maurice Spagnoletti, 56, was shot multiple times while driving home from work to the fashionable Condado beachfront district in rush hour traffic in June 2011. Authorities have described the shooting as an apparent contract killing, but have made no arrests. Spagnoletti's family filed a wrongful death and racketeering lawsuit on Friday against the chief executive and four other high-ranking officials at the bank where he worked at the time of his death. Spagnoletti was chief operating officer at Doral Bank when he uncovered alleged fraudulent accounting and improper payments by the bank, according to the lawsuit filed by his widow and daughter. U.S. officials will examine the information in the lawsuit, Rodriguez said. Doral Financial Corporation, the bank's holding company, issued a statement saying the lawsuit is false, frivolous, and has absolutely no legal basis. It said the bank has been fully cooperating with the investigating authorities and will continue to aid the investigation as we have done since it was started. End of quote. G8 leaders have agreed to work towards peace talks to end the Syrian civil war, but their statements stopped short of demanding President Bashar al-Assad's removal from power. David Cameron said Mr. Assad had blood on his hands, and it was unthinkable that the long-standing leader could play a part in Syria's future. But a 7-point plan the Prime Minister unveiled during a news conference following the 2-day summit in Northern Ireland made no reference to Mr. Assad's future due to resistance from Russia. Tensions over Syria have dominated the G8 gathering in low-end of some of the world's most powerful leaders. It took place in the wake of an announcement by President Barack Obama that the U.S. was ready to arm rebels seeking to oust Mr. Assad despite bitter opposition from Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Moscow has been arming the regime, and Mr. Putin said he would not rule out sending fresh arms shipments to the embattled Syrian government. Russia has been Mr. Assad's most powerful supporter as his forces struggle to crush an uprising in which 93,000 people have been killed since. He can also count on backing from Iran and Hezbollah in Lebanon. The US, Turkey, and European and Gulf Arab states support the rebels who have lost ground to Mr. Assad's troops in recent weeks. In Brazil, President Dilma Rousseff on Tuesday sought to defuse a massive protest movement sweeping Brazil, acknowledging the need for better public services and more responsive governance as demonstrations continued in some cities around the country. Speaking the morning after more than 200,000 Brazilians marched in over half a dozen cities, Rousseff said her government remains committed to social change and is listening attentively to the many grievances expressed at the demonstrations. Monday's demonstrations were the latest in a flurry of protests over the past 2 weeks that have fed on widespread frustration with the poor public services, police violence, and government corruption. The demonstration started as small protests in a few cities against an increase in bus and subway fares, but quickly ballooned into a national movement after police fired rubber bullets at protesters in Sao Paulo last week in clashes that injured more than 100 people. Eager to ease tensions and prevent future protests, officials in at least 5 cities, including important state capitals such as Porto Alegre and Recife, announced plans on Tuesday to lower bus fares. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
The music! It's week 2 of our used car blowout month, and this week it's guaranteed credit approval. If we can't show you how to get approved, that car is on us. Log on now. GrecoAuto.com.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Welcome back to Cannes. This segment is sponsored by Leica Mobile. In sports, a defiant Claude Bryan, manager of embattled Jamaica sprinter Veronica Campbell-Brown, has leapt to the defense of his star client and has adamantly defended her credibility. In a release issued minutes ago, Bryan, the head of the On-Track Management Group, said, and I quote, "Veronica is not a cheat. She has worked hard, and dedication accomplished a record on the track, which is absolutely remarkable." The release follows one issued just over an hour ago by the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association that Campbell Brown, and I quote, voluntarily withdrew herself from competition and accepted the provisional suspension. The release also said the JAAA was able to confirm that a case concerning Mrs. Veronica Campbell Brown is currently ongoing. The matter is being handled according to the IAAF rules. Her faith, which rests not in device or creed, will see her through this dark period. Due to her determination to vigorously pursue the clearing of her name, she will desist from being vocal, suffice it to say, while not accepting guilt of willfully taking a banned substance. She wholeheartedly apologizes to her family, Jamaica, her sponsors, the governing body, the World Athletics family, her supporters, as well as those she worked with in various non-athletic causes for any embarrassment and or hurt this devastating news has caused. West Indies captain Dwayne Bravo says neither Kieron Pollard nor the umpires are to be blamed for the way his team was eliminated from the Champions Trophy in Cardiff last Friday. Their Group B clash against South Africa finished in a tie under the Duckworth-Lewis method after Pollard was dismissed from the last ball before rain stopped play with 29 deliveries remaining. Umpires Steve Davis and Rod Tucker took the players from the field as the rain intensified and both teams received a point from the tie, allowing the South Africans to advance on a better net run rate. Bravo felt his side could have been given an extra ball to win their Champions Trophy match against South Africa. And I quote, "I think it would have been fair for teams, the fans and tournament if that extra ball had been bowled or something like that," said the West Indies captain. He says, "But you have to give credit to both teams. South Africa batted very well and I was pleased with how my guys went in the run chase." World 100-meter champion Johan Blake has been withdrawn from this week's Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association Supreme Ventures Limited National Senior Championships at the National Stadium. The confirmation came from Blake's manager, QBC Gobin, on Tuesday evening, who was on his way to the JAA offices to notify the authorities. Blake is already qualified for the 100-meter at this summer's IAAF World Championships in Athletics due to his wild card. He earned a bye after his gold medal winning performance at the last installment in South Korea. Blake is said to have not made enough progress in terms of his fitness since suffering a hamstring injury on April 13th. The sprinter was hoping to compete in the 200-meter at this week's trials and later on at the World Champs, but his withdrawal now means that he will only concentrate on the defense of his 100-meter title at this year's World Championships, set for Moscow, Russia from August 10th to the 18th. President of the West Indies Cricket Board, Wycliffe Dave Cameron, last week continued his initiative to meet with heads of government of the Caribbean to discuss matters regarding the development and improvement of cricket in the region. On Thursday, June 13th, Cameron met and had discussions with the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, in Kingston. One day later, Cameron met with the Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell, in St. George. These meetings are crucial in setting the framework with the political leaders of the region towards ensuring that they are fully briefed on all matters relating to the regional sport. It is critical that we at the West Indies Cricket Board keep the leaders of each of our countries informed with regard to our plans and programs, and that they are aware of the challenges and difficulties which we face. It is also valuable to have their perspective on what they think are the issues regarding the sport, Cameron noted. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with zero out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with zero out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy. Go faster. Stop.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe, I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or colemansubaru.com.
Stop the music! It's week 2 of our used car blowout month, and this week it's guaranteed credit approval. If we can't show you how to get approved, that car is on us. Log on now. GrecoAuto.com.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Welcome back to Cannes. This segment is sponsored by TravelSpan Vacations. And in entertainment, if you think that music's the only artistic element out of Trinidad and Tobago that's making inroads onto the international scene, pause and listen. Here's what we have learned. The locally created film is Story About Wendy, which stars Heidi Walcott, Catherine Emmanuel, Ayana Cezanne, Marcia Henville, and Carice Montano, is heading to the 16th annual Zanzibar International Film Festival, which kicks off on June 29th and goes to July 17th. This is big news, guys, and we can safely say that the film's director, Sean Hodgkinson, is going to ensure that everyone who sees this one knows its roots. Truly a big deal, this Trinidad and Tobago created feature will highlight the impressive wealth of talent that lies in these parts to a film festival that's dubbed the largest film, music and arts festival in East Africa. ZIFF is renowned for showcasing the films of the highest quality from across the world, and that in itself places Trinidad and Tobago's film industry into focus this year. And in case you're wondering what this film could possibly be about, well, it tells the story of a young woman whose life spirals out of control after her fiancé walks out on her. She's forced to move back in with her parents and hopes that landing a job with famed television presenter Simone Davis will help her to get back on her feet. We'll later come to realize that Davies has other plans for Wendy. In Jamaica, Vybz Kartel says he meant jockey Georgina Surgeon no disrespect when he released his latest hit single, Georgina. Vybz Kartel released a statement from behind bars through producer Elvis So Unique Redwood, where he addressed the recent controversy. And I quote, "I just want to clear the air on this Georgina issue," Vybz Kartel says. "As it relates to the speculation that we were involved, it is not true. The song is talking about sexual writing, so I simply made reference to a female writer. That's it. It wasn't meant to be disrespectful." Vybz Kartel also wittedly addresses Georgina Surgeon's comment about the DJ looking hype off her name with the song. According to the self-proclaimed world boss, he is way more famous than the Jamaican female jockey. And I quote, "More importantly though, Miss Surgeon wasn't mentioned to get a hype." Kartel says, he says, "I am immensely, unequivocally, and irrevocably more famous than her as an 11-year music veteran who has toured the Caribbean, Europe, Asia, and North, South, and Central America numerous times. And I have never seen her in any of those places unless she was among the tens of thousands in the crowd." Meanwhile, the single has been creating quite a buzz on Jamaican airwaves since its release last month. Reps for the DJ told reporters that he will be releasing more singles for the summer. And reggae artist Ziggy Marley can add another accolade to his long list of credits. Marley, a 4-time Grammy winner, picked up an Emmy for his song I Love You Too from the Disney Channel's animation Third and the Bird at the Daytime Emmy Creative Arts Awards held in Los Angeles. And I quote, "I didn't even know I was nominated," said the 44-year-old Marley. "When somebody mentioned to me that I won an Emmy, I was like, what's that? It's not like the Grammys when you know you're nominated and there's a lot of buzz around that. So I never expected it, but it feels good." Marley said the contact was made regarding contributing music for the television show after he completed his children's album Family Time, which was released in 2009. For Bob Marley's eldest son, the Emmy win not only supports his move to step out of the box and into other areas, but represents a positive step for reggae music. And I quote, "For the Emmy to acknowledge and recognize us in this form is something new for us and is definitely a step forward," Marley said. Marley, along with his siblings, has appeared on American children's TV series Sesame Street, as well as voiced a character for the animated movie Shark Tale. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
I can't believe your mom let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little while
Go faster. Come on, stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie. Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.